What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be doing a NBA mock draft full lottery. The NBA lottery was just revealed a few days ago. If you guys want to see a full first round mock draft after the NBA playoffs, make sure you guys hit that like button. That shows me you guys want to see it. And comment down below and let me know as well if you guys would like to. Make sure you guys subscribe. We have been growing a lot here on the channel. I really appreciate it. So make sure you guys hit that sub button. And yeah, guys, let's get right into this mock draft. All right, first overall pick by the Orlando Magic. I've been seeing so many mock drafts taking Chet Holmgren with this first overall pick, and I do not agree. In my personal opinion, Jabari Smith, Paolo Banchero, all have solid cases for being the number one overall pick. For me personally, it is Jabari Smith. I'm going to go ahead and take him for the Orlando Magic right here. I think that if you can get a 6'10 forward that has the potential to be a superstar player, you take him. I think you take him over Chet Holmgren. To me, Chet Holmgren has a lot more question marks as far as his body. Can that hold up against NBA competition? To me, I think the safer pick and the better pick is taking Jabari Smith Jr. I think if you can have a superstar small forward on your team, then that immediately puts you at a better chance to be competitive for an NBA championship, and that's ultimately where every team should want to be. So I think drafting a small forward is ultimately the better way to go here. Next up, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I know I just said that if you got the opportunity to take a 6'10 small forward that has potential to be a superstar player, you should take him. So you guys may think I'm going Paolo Banchero here, but I'm actually not. I think Chet Holmgren fits very well in Oklahoma City's system, and they also need a center. With Orlando Magic, they have Mo Bamba. He can shoot a little bit, and I think Chet Holmgren, he fits that system. He can play with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Josh Giddey, those great passers. He is a good passer, and I feel like that system fits him well, and I feel like Oklahoma City will get the best out of him and be able to bring out his potential as a superstar player. So I really like the fit here of Chet Holmgren going to the Oklahoma City Thunder. I hope that's where he lands, and that's where I have him going. If I'm the Oklahoma City Thunder, I would take Chet Holmgren right here with this pick. Next up, the Houston Rockets. You guys, it's not as clear-cut as you guys may think. Paolo Banchero is who I am going to take with this pick, but I really consider taking Shaedon Sharpe here with this pick because I was looking into some Shaedon Sharpe highlights. I've been watching his high school highlights, and man, this guy is an absolute stud. He is an athletic beast at the guard position. He can shoot, he can pass. I really like Shaedon Sharpe in this NBA draft class, and just because, you know, the controversy with him sitting out his year in college this year, I still would draft him pretty high, and I considered him a lot for the Rockets here, but ultimately I think the safer pick at number 3, you have that chance to get a superstar player, 6'10 forward, get him. And Paolo Banchero, the thing he needs to work on most is his defense, and the Rockets are not a very good defensive team, but other than that, I think it's a solid pick. Those are pretty clearly the top 3 guys. If you guys told me you guys would rather have Shaedon Sharpe at 3, then I would honestly, it wouldn't take much to change my mind because I almost went in that direction. Next up for the Kings, man, it's a tough pick for the Sacramento Kings here because you really wanted to get one of those top 2 forwards. But I'm actually going to have them take Shaedon Sharpe. I know that they have De'Aaron Fox, and they have some solid guards on that team, but you can't be afraid to get better. Obviously, you're picking in the lottery every single year. Something's not working. You need to pick the best player available at this point, and I think Shaedon Sharpe is the best available player on the board so far. After I looked more into him, I mean, this guy is going to be a stud. He might take some developing, but if I'm the Kings, I would take a shot at Shaedon Sharpe with the 4th overall pick. Next up, we have the Detroit Pistons, and I am going to have the Pistons take Jalen Duren. And Jalen Duren is absolute beast, man. He's a rim protector. He is a beast in the paint, and I think that is what the Detroit Pistons need with Cade Cunningham. There's great guards that they have there. Killian Hayes, even though he's not the best playmaker, he is a good guard off the bench. I think he'll probably stay coming off the bench there for the Pistons. But I still think center is the way to go with Jalen Duren on the board. Cade Cunningham, lobs to him from Cade Cunningham will be very fun to watch. Next up, with the 6th overall pick, we have the Indiana Pacers, and I'm going to have them take Jaden Ivey, the point guard from Purdue, staying in Indiana, going from Purdue to Indianapolis. I think this is a very solid pick. Jaden Ivey, I really like him a lot. He is an athletic point guard who can shoot, playmake. He maybe needs to work on his defense just a tad to get to the NBA level. But watching him at Purdue, I mean, this guy is a superstar. He has potential to be a superstar point guard in the league. And with the 6th overall pick, if you have the potential to get a superstar point guard, I say go grab him if you're Indiana. That's why I have the Pacers selecting him here with number 6. At number 7, we have the Portland Trail Blazers. And man, Portland kind of, it sucks they're picking this low. They need some help here for Damian Lillard, who's going to be coming back, looking to make a big playoff push next year. And I think Keegan Murray is a very solid pick for the 7th pick in the draft. It fills a need at forward for the Trailblazers, and Keegan Murray is maybe one of the most NBA-ready guys coming out of college. I mean, watching him at Iowa, he is a pure shooter, 3-and-D type of guy, but he was averaging like 24 points per game as a 3-and-D guy at Iowa, and he led them to a Big Ten championship and a very good Big Ten conference this year. And I just really like Keegan Murray's game. He's a fundamental guy, and I just love the fit there for Portland. He's not a ball-dominant guy, but he can score a lot of points, and I think that fits perfectly for what the Trailblazers need. They need some offense, but they already have a ball-dominant type of guy in Damian Lillard who can score, and I think Keegan Murray doesn't need the ball to score a lot of points. 3-and-D type of guy fits very good there for Portland. So I think with Portland falling to 7 in the lottery, not a bad pick for picking at 7. I really like this draft class. It is fairly deep for an NBA draft class. That usually NBA draft classes are not this deep. 8th pick, we got the New Orleans Pelicans, and I am actually going to have them pick AJ Griffin, another guy, 3-and-D. He's maybe just barely not as good as Keegan Murray as far as scoring, but he's still NBA ready to be a 3-and-D type of guy. So I really like this pick a lot for the New Orleans Pelicans. I think they already are a team that has a young starting 5, young core. So why not bring in a 3-and-D type of guy who can only help that team get even better? And I think the Pelicans are going to be very, very good next year. Especially if Zion can come out and actually play a full season of basketball next year. I hope he does, because I want to watch him play. Next up, we have the San Antonio Spurs, and this is going to be probably my most controversial pick in the entire draft. And I'm going to have the San Antonio Spurs take Ochai Agbaji out of Kansas, and I don't care what all the scouts have to say about Ochai Agbaji not being top 10 worthy. In my opinion, Ochai Agbaji might be one of the best players in this entire draft. I am a huge college basketball fan. I watched Ochai Agbaji play all year long and win the championship this year. I watched him in the Final Four game go 7 for 7 from three-point land, and He is an athletic freak. I mean, he is catching oops from the baseline with his head above the rim. I mean, he's literally looking eye to eye contact with the rim. Athletic beast, shoots amazingly, very consistent. And he has great defense. He has great length at the small forward position. I could really see this being Greg Popovich's last real project as an NBA coach. I mean, I could really see him turning Ochai Agbaji into something very great and turning him into maybe a prime San Antonio Spur Kawhi Leonard type player, and that would be awesome. I'd love to see it, and I love the fit there with the Spurs. I don't think picking him at 9 is too high, considering how many people had Ochai Agbaji falling outside of the lottery. I just don't see what they're seeing. This guy is awesome. I think he fits the NBA very well. Maybe it's because he's not a super young player, but man, I think you take a shot at him if you're the Spurs. I love the fit. Next up, the Washington Wizards. And I am going to have them take Benedict Mathurin out of Arizona. I love this fit because, in my opinion, Benedict Mathurin, he's listed as a small forward because he's 6'6", but man, I really do think he has upside to be a solid point guard eventually in the NBA. I mean, I think he would fit very well with Bradley Beal. I think Benedict Mathurin is going to be a very good fundamental guy who can score points, play defense, shoot the three ball, be a great passer, and I think adding him to any team in the NBA is going to make that team better. I love Benedict Mathurin out of Arizona. This is a solid pick at number 10 for the Wizards. At number 11, we have the New York Knicks, and I think they need some playmaking. I could see maybe a Johnny Davis pick if they're looking to get scoring, but I don't necessarily like that for the Knicks. I'd rather have them take Dyson Daniels from the G League. And this is a guy who's more of a true point guard than Johnny Davis. Johnny Davis is a guy who's very ball dominant. He was very ball dominant at Wisconsin, and he scored a lot of points. He's a very good player, but he is a guy who's going to get to the mid-range and shoot a lot of shots, and that's kind of where his zone is, and he's very ball dominant at that. So it's not very NBA efficient in my opinion. He can shoot threes, he can drive to the rack, and he can play make, but he is very ball dominant, and he likes his best spot is the mid-range shot. And that's not NBA efficient. I would rather, if I'm the Knicks, go with this Daniels guy out of the G League who is a more true point guard and is an excellent passer. He may be the best passer in this draft class. So I love that. I think that's more of what the Knicks need. So I would go with Daniels here with number 11. Number 12, we got the Oklahoma City Thunder picking with their second pick of the lottery. Took Chet Holmgren earlier, and I have the perfect player for the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm not sure if anyone are on this train right now, but I'm taking Jeremy Sochan out of Baylor. I mean, this guy, I would love this guy in Oklahoma City's Thunder with Chet Holmgren. This is a guy who is a 3-and-D type player. He's very lengthy. He plays great defense, and he is very athletic. Like, I just love the fit for Oklahoma City here with the 12th pick. Then you fill two big needs there with your bigs, with Chet Holmgren and Jeremy Sochan. I just love those two picks together right there. If Oklahoma City got those two players, that would be a slam dunk, out of the park type draft for them. Next up, we have the Charlotte Hornets. You look at Johnny Davis still sitting there at number 13. And, you know, it's a little bit tempting, but you already have LaMelo Ball, who's an excellent playmaker. I could see Johnny Davis being drafted here as a scoring threat alongside LaMelo, but I am going to have them take Mark Williams out of Duke, getting themselves a true center who can block shots, a great rim protector, and I think that defense is more of a need for Charlotte right now. I would like that pick a lot. Mark Williams also staying in his home state, going from Duke there, just staying there in Charlotte, North Carolina. Then, our last pick of this video, last pick of the lottery, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers. And finally, I am going to have Johnny Davis come off of the board. I think the Cavs are a team that already has a true point guard in Darius Garland, who is a great playmaker, and I think Johnny Davis would fit in there well at the shooting guard position, give them some more scoring, and I would like that fit a lot there in Cleveland. So this is my NBA mock draft post NBA draft lottery. If you guys want to see a full first round mock draft after the NBA playoffs are over, make sure you guys comment down below and let me know that, and hit that like button. That helps share the video to more people, and that also lets me know that you guys want to see more NBA mock drafts. So Jabari Smith, #1 overall to the Orlando Magic. I love that fit. And if I'm picking #1 overall, I would take Jabari Smith Jr. in this draft. Chet Holmgren, awesome fit there at Oklahoma City. I think that they would get the most potential out of him out of these top 3 teams. Paulo Banchero going to the Rockets. I could see them taking Shaedon Sharpe, but in my opinion, you take the safer pick. You take that 6'10 forward who is an amazing scoring threat. Then, #4, we had Shaedon Sharpe going to the Sacramento Kings. Don't be afraid to get better and draft another guard. If you are the Kings, you have been staying in the top 10, picking in the top 10 every year. Something's not working. I would take Shaedon Sharpe. He has the highest upside out of anyone left here on the board at #4, so I would take him. I mean, all of these fits to me seem really, really good. And yeah, let me know one of these picks were your guys' favorite. Let me know what you guys agree with, what you disagree with, what you would change about my list. I love talking to you guys about it down below in the comments. And before we get out of here, I just want to say, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you guys haven't already. So yeah, guys, without further ado, it's been your boy Danny. I'm out.